Welcome back. It snowed today in New York. I was supposed to be in Puerto Rico right now with Luis Gonzalez, aka the patron saint of the maker movement. Luis invited us down, but today it snowed, so we got stuck here in New York City. So we're scheduled to leave on Saturday morning, but hopefully the snow doesn't keep us here again. Had a really productive week. I finished up my floating side tables that I made for my upcoming Rockler video on the Rockler channel. And this was a really great build. I had a couple of ups and downs during the build, but it all came together. I just posted my 900,000 subscriber collection, which just went up a little while ago. So take a look at that. It's all about the hand planes that I have. Had a really great mailbag this week. I sped it up because it was so long, but I just want to show a couple of the highlights. This really cool hat, it's got a pencil in it, so thank you for that. I got a powder-coated coffee mug. Thank you, bro. Mark made me this beautiful glass, and I got one for Dave and Bob. This is the coolest thing of all. This is a spike push stick. Had a really great visit this weekend with Kyle. Kyle is a builder that I met on Instagram, of all places, and we started talking about a year and a half ago about him building the building that's going to go on my property. Everybody meet Kyle Stumpenhorst. Kyle's going to build my building. Tell everybody what you do.
Yeah, you know, I'm basically a custom post frame builder, so I build really anything that's post frame construction, and I'm super pumped here to come out to New York and do this with Jimmy, so it's awesome.
How many buildings have you made in your life?
I think we're probably, you know, sub 100, so 75 maybe at this point.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
And how long does it take you to build your average building?
Average building, I would say 2 weeks.
Right on.
2 weeks.
You and how many people?
Me and one other guy, basically, and I get some part-time help once in a while.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, RR Buildings. YouTube, just started YouTube. Basically, just search RR Buildings, and you know all the social media sites should show up. Awesome.
Thanks, bro. It was great hanging out with you.
Awesome. Likewise.
The gas station is still moving along. I'm waiting for a quote for the roof, and then once that comes in, me and the landlord will make a deal about how to use that as credit towards the rent, because that's going to be the main first thing, and there's a lot of snow up there. So once the snow melts, I have to do a site plan for the town board. It's moving along slowly. Kyle and I played with his Mavic drone. As soon as I got back to the city, my buddy Brett went and found me one at the DJI store here in the city. I went online, it says not available till the end of March, and I knew there had to be one because I see them everywhere. So they had them at the DJI store, so we picked one up, and I was going to take it to Puerto Rico with me. I got a chance this week to play with this thing, the Rockler Miter Fold Dado set. Pretty incredible. It lives up to the expectation, and I made a few boxes just testing it. I used it this week to make the drawers that go inside these walnut boxes. This folding blade is a great example of coming up with a great idea, seeing it through, finding a manufacturer and a distributor. So Andy, congratulations and good luck. A great inventor, Andy Klein, who invented the blade, and he comes up with inventions all the time. I think it's going to do well because it's so easy to use. A lot of people ask me why don't I have a Patreon, but in fact I do have a Patreon, and Patreon's going to use me in a small promotion. I don't know how they're going to use me, but a small production company here in Brooklyn called Palmetto Productions came with a team, and they filmed me with a couple of people from Patreon that were here, and we had a great few hours filming in the shop, and just follow me around. And I don't know what they're going to do with it. It's going to be out somewhere soon, so take a look for that. And thank you very much to the patrons who've already joined, and thank you for Patreon for being there. A couple weeks ago for my Rockler video, I made this stand-up cabinet, and my friend who I made it for wanted to grid out the boxes. And so she bought this thin plywood, and I just wanted to show you a quick little way of how to grid out a box. Pretty self-explanatory. I could have used the table saw, but those cuts were too deep. They were higher than 3 inches, and it's just safer to use the bandsaw in a circumstance like that. My ice pick promotion, I put 10 ice picks with the knurling on the handle. They're going to be available this week, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. They're going to go up on the website. Scott handles that for me, and I never know exactly when he makes them available. I almost don't even want to know because I don't want to have to be right or wrong all the time. I sent out 80 ice picks this week. I have another 80 sitting right over there, but this first batch is going to have the 10 knurled ones in it, so keep an eye out for that. And I put a little signature card in there, and it's one piece of 10 of a postcard, so maybe one day you 10 guys can get together and you could all lay it out and take a picture of it if it means anything. So thank you all very much for supporting me with the ice pick, so look out for that. Just wanted to show you one of my rituals. It's me hanging out with my buddy Socrates. He's just down the block here on Clinton Street. He cuts my hair about once every 2 weeks, and he's such a great dude. He's like such a Lower East Side guy. We always have a lot of laughs when we hang out. What makes a happy marriage?
A happy marriage is that you have to do whatever your wife says. If you want to do what you want, you're going to have problems. So always do what your wife says and you're a happy man. Otherwise, you're going to be fighting.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Well said. Love you. Socrates, Lower East Side, Clinton Street.
Oh, Nueva York. Yes, sir.
We're going to come get your autograph now. So a buddy of mine in the neighborhood came up with this thing called the ClutchIt. I didn't realize how far along he was on it. He brought some over the other day, and this thing is actually really incredible. It's sturdy, it's machined out of aluminum, it's got a magnet on both sides, so it'll stick to any surface that's magnetic. You can put 2 of them together to extend it. You take these clutch plates and you stick them wherever, you put them on the phone. Right now mine is inside the case here, so the clutch sticks right to it. And you stick the plate wherever. It's got double stick BHB tape right there. It sticks to anything. But if you don't have another plate, or if you're going to put it on something wood, you can stand it like that. Stand it like that. So in the description, there'll be an affiliate link for this. I suggest you pick one up. They're pretty cool. If you support my friends and my sponsors, I get to stay here in the workshop. I want to introduce my buddy Steve. Steve and I have been working together in the toy business for over 25 years, and Steve is an intellectual and an inventor, and he's just an all-around fun guy. This is Steve. Steve's a long-time friend of mine from the toy business. Steve, you're a toy inventor?
Yes, I am.
And an inventor. And you write patents.
Yes, I do.
And so someone like me, some moron like me, comes up with an idea.
Well, I write your patent, but what I try to do is I try to figure out all the ways that if I were trying to infringe your patent,
Right.
how would I infringe it? And I try to cover those ways.
Right.
Because a patent is a lot like a door in a doorway in the middle of the desert.
Right.
Why go through the door when you can just as easily go around it?
Right.
Because we're naturally creative people, we know how to get around things, so you block every way that you can think of that you would rationally get around it.
Right.
And so that's what I try to do, and so I bring that to the table, because I'll try to break down your invention
into a series of systems, and then I define each subsystem or system in all the ways you could possibly do that. Because many people over-restrict themselves. They'll say, and it's held together with a 3/8-inch, 45-degree angle lever. You just want to say it's held together with a lever. It's held together with a lever, or it's actuated. Said method of actuation can be at least one of, and then I list like 50 ways you could actuate that. And do you get pushed back a lot from the patent department? Well, what's
good about it is that the patent office usually does your work for you.
You'll cover something, and then they'll go off and they'll do the research, and they'll come up with like 6 patents that they think you're infringing, and then you'll tell them why it isn't. Or because you've already mentioned all these ways, you simply it's like an air mattress. You just press it, and it just kind of oozes out in another direction. But you just work your way around. You're the water in a bucket of rocks. So you just make sure that you fill in the space, and if a rock moves, good water moves out of the way, and it just covers everything that's left over. Oh, sorry, that was like... That's good, yeah.
That reminds me of the book you wrote. You want to give yourself a pitch on the book? One of the I'm thinking of Becker's Ring.
Becker's Ring, it's on Amazon. Well, that was actually published. You can probably buy Becker's Ring for 1 penny, and it'll cost more to ship it to you. But if you want me to make any money so that my wife doesn't throw me out, then buy it. Go to Amazon Kindle, Becker's Ring. That was published. It was a hardcover deal. It was published in Italy, England, Japan. I did a reading in Paris, France.
Right.
They actually treated me like a human being as opposed to, they treat you like dirt here. They actually,
All right, Steve, if I gave you the opportunity to use only 10 words to wrap this up, what would you say?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Steve is a great guy. I think I'm going to put his extended interview on my Patreon page. It's about 30 minutes long. Maybe I'll just drop it in a timeline and put a fade in and a fade out. Go to town on it. I just want to say thank you all very much for following me and for 900,000 subscribers. I did Mohonk Teachers Retreat a couple weeks ago, and they did a little interview with me, and look for the link in the bottom. Follow the interview. I did a little interview about my time as a student in elementary and middle school. I had a lot of learning disabilities, and I talk a little bit about it in there, so if you're interested, take a look. Bear, are they in there?
I wonder if they abandoned it.
Bear, are they in there? I wonder if it's for rent.
Is it for rent?
Hey, everybody else left the Catskills, right?
I'll fix it up.
For sale.